Naibu Rais, waheshimiwa, mawaziri, viongozi, marafiki, hamjambo. On behalf of Kenya's international development and humanitarian partners, I want to thank His Excellency the Deputy President for having taken this very important step of coming to Garissa today to help us see for ourselves the impact of the El Nino flooding in the country. When you convened us, Excellency, back in September at your residence in Karen, you brought all of the government together, you brought all of the international partners together to prepare. Back then, we didn't know if El Nino would hit us hard this time or whether it would pass us by. Now we know. Now we know it has hit us hard. And we are here under your leadership to help. I know that the national government and the county government have been working very, very hard to bring help and support to all of those, nearly half a million people who have already been impacted by this flooding. We on our side, the international and national partners together, have been working equally hard. Something like 120,000 people have so far received food assistance. Another 90,000 have received food and cash assistance. There's been many other forms of support, shelter, medical, and so on. But we can expect, I think, this flood crisis to get worse before it gets better. And so, as we were just discussing, Excellency, together, there is an urgent need for us to look at the short, the medium, and the long-term requirements. In the short run, there are communities around the country who are still cut off. We need to bring to them support urgently, and the United Nations and other international partners are ready with our logistical support to help you in government with that. We also need to think about the refugee and host populations in Dadaab, and we need to worry about what more rainfall in the coming weeks may bring, whether that is Tana River. We saw this morning Waziri Kindiki warning us that the dams may quickly be overrun, at which point the emergency would get much more dire. We also need to worry about other parts of the country that haven't yet been hit, but that will now be hit in all likelihood. In the medium term, we need to think then beyond this crisis in the coming months to reconstruction. I'm really thrilled to hear that the road from Nairobi to Garissa has been reopened, but we need to be working together to get the other major arteries of this great country working and flowing again. And then finally, Mheshimiwa Naibu Rais, right now in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, COP28 is getting underway. That's, as everybody knows, the annual summit on the climate crisis. This is the climate crisis. Last year, Excellency, we were dealing together with the drought crisis. It's a tragic irony that we are now dealing with a flood crisis because, of course, the abundant rains that we have now should be a blessing, but instead they are a disaster. What we need is to invest in the future of this country, a future that, alas, will be a future within the climate emergency. Kenya, as always, on the front lines of that. So we need to invest in resilience. We need to invest in ways to capture that water when we have it now and to store it so that we can use it when we don't have it, because we are looking at a future that is going to be characterized by these swings between abundance and scarcity, and we're never going to be in the next couple of decades. We're never going to be where we need to be in the middle. So we have to invest in that now. And so this is my appeal to our international partners. First and foremost, we are already responding, but we will be called on to do more in the short run to meet those urgent needs for the almost 500,000 people already displaced by these floods. And then we do need to look to the future. So we build a Kenya that is climate resilient, climate adapted, and that is ready to capitalize on the abundant